Do you understand the way these work?
The prosecution will get a chance to put their case through, and then I'll get to cross-examine.
All their witnesses, then you'll have the opportunity to cross-examine their witnesses.
And the same weight will be given to my cross-examination as from the prosecution? Sure. Just making sure we're all trading fairly.
Well, that's the way we work in court.
Awesome.
So, Mr. Keane, you're appearing in court today in respect of an alleged infringement offence relating to a vehicle travelling in a special vehicle lane. To be successful, the prosecution must prove the elements of the case beyond reasonable doubt. The essential elements are that on the 12th of January 2023 at approximately 9:30 in Manukau City, you were the driver of a motor vehicle. In Manukau City, you were the driver of a motor vehicle. In Manukau City, you were the driver of a motor vehicle that travelled down a special vehicle lane.
Okay, so I have the certificate of particulars here. Am I able to show this to the...
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so you can see here, who's the registered person on the owner of the vehicle?
Yeah, it's marked.
Okay, and are there any joint persons registered?
Yeah, I think that's
Leah Mary Group?
Yes, that's
okay, so there are two people registered owners of this vehicle.
Yeah, but
so,
the name is there, yeah.
Okay. So you could argue that I'm registered as the first registered owner.
Yes. Yeah.
So again, I come back to the fact, do you have any first-hand evidence to state that I was the operator of the vehicle that day in question?
That is whoever is operating is not. Yeah, anybody can operate a vehicle. Anyone can make offense.
Yeah.
But the person who is the registered owner of the vehicle, he has to. The fine will be issued.
And you'd agree that we've just established there are two registered owners for this vehicle, correct?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay,
yeah.
so
but
how did
main
you?
One.
So my point is, if there's two registered owners, and unless you physically saw and can identify who the operator of the vehicle was, not the registered owner, because the registered owner is based on the presumption, absent fact. Okay, so you can presume, but the moment that presumption is rebutted by the plea of, say, not guilty, is not the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt for you to verify who the operator of the vehicle was that day?
It's objection, Your Worship. The onus is on the prosecution to prove, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, and this is the only witness. I'm asking, can she verify who the operator of the vehicle was that day?
Have done through section 130, Your Worships.
They've shown who the registered owners of the vehicle are. They haven't shown who the operator of the vehicle that day was.
It's very valid question. This is relevant question.
I think we're going to go around and continue going around in circles. I think what's clear, her role was to, the witness's role was to merely issue the offence notice to the registered owner.
Under the presumption that was the offender?
Yes.
Okay, so what evidence is there that proves that presumption with fact?
Under section 133, once the owner gets the offending notice, if they weren't the driver, then there's a process for them to complete a statutory declaration to nominate who the driver was.
I agree with you, Your Honour, on that state that a person can make a declaration, however it is not compulsory. The person does not have to. I believe the burden of proof in a criminal case is for the prosecution to prove every element. One of the elements being who was the operator of the vehicle that day, given a not guilty plea has been entered stating that the presumption under 133 of the Land Transport Act no longer applies because it has been rebutted.
Okay. But again, this witness is not qualified to answer any questions about it.
But the witness can verify. On the video, did you see the driver of the vehicle?
I'm not supposed to see the spider. I
think just answer yes or no.
No, okay, no.
So you didn't see who the driver was?
No.
So you can't verify who the operator of that vehicle was that day?
No.
No more questions, shall we?
The essential elements are that on the 12th of January 2023 at approximately 9:30 in Manukau City, you were the driver of a motor vehicle. I think just answer yes or no.
No, okay, no,
So you didn't see who the driver was?
no,
So you can't verify who the operator of that vehicle was that day?
no.
No more questions, shall we?
Good morning, everybody. It's been a cold, wet, raining fucking night, but it's looks like sunshine at the moment. Briefly, I am heading in for day number 2. Today I'm going back to Manukau District Court, hence my favourite court jumper, to go and have my defendant hearing for the bus lane ticket that they're alleging that the car drove in.
Calling the matter of Mark Keane to hearing room 19.
Good morning. How are you?
So you will proceed today?
For the defendant hearing? Yes.
Yes. You need pen and paper or anything?
Got everything I need right here, sir. Thank you.
So do you understand the way these hearings will work?
The prosecution will get a chance to put their case through, and then I'll get to
All
cross-examine.
their witnesses, then you'll have the opportunity to cross-examine their witnesses.
And the same weight will be given to my cross-examination as from the prosecution? Sure. Just making sure we're all trading fairly.
Well, that's the way we work in court, yes.
Awesome.
Okay, so I've just seen an email from the he objects to section 130, documents being produced under section 130. Perhaps that would be the first thing the court will need to determine. So Auckland Transport seeks to offer 3 documents in evidence without calling a witness, which is section 130 of the Evidence Act. Those 3 documents are the enforcement map MSR1 from Monaco Station Road with a distance of 75 metres. Exhibit 2 is the calibration certificate that calibrated the measuring device that measured the 75 metres. And exhibit 3 is the certificate of particulars stating the defendant as a registered owner at the time of the offence. Well, those are the documents that are supposed to offer evidence without calling a witness. And I understand the objection going to be made by Mr. King. And then the court will need to make the determination as to whether these documents can be submitted under section 130 or not.
Hand up that document to the court.
Mr. King has copies of these documents?
Mr. King has had copies. He has been advised that of our intention to submit these documents under 130, and I've only just seen the email opposing that.
That was sent on the 23rd of June, Your Honour.
Do you need a copy of the section?
Yeah, thanks. Mr. Keane,
Yes, Your Honour.
so welcome to hear your submission.
Just simply that there's no ability to cross-examine a document. The document is hearsay, as it wasn't the person it was registered with, or there was no evidence of the actual person that the vehicle was registered with to come and cross-examine, especially considering, for instance, the particulars of the vehicle state that there are 2 registered owners. So the question being is, how did they pick between the 2 registered owners, which is the person that was driving the vehicle?
But that can come up, we can deal with that later in the evidence.
Yes, okay. So,
But section 138 is customary that for traditional court practice that accepts documents from, particularly in respect of matters raised by Auckland Transport, where it's court will accept the evidence under section 130 and avoid the necessity of bringing a whole lot of staff from Auckland Transport.
so I have no ability to cross-examine a document, eh?
No, you can challenge the document and you give your evidence.
So if I have questions in regards to the document, who do I ask?
You ask the witness when they give their evidence.
But that's not the person that signed the certification of that document, is it?
No. But the court's accepting the evidence under section 130, okay?
Okay. So you will accept it?
So, yes, so we can proceed.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Sorry, Benny.
I call Officer Severa to stand.
Evidence that you're about to give about the touching matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Would you like some water? Water? Would you like some water? No, I'm good. Thank you very much.
Can you please introduce yourself to the court?
Good morning, Your Worship. My name is Severa. I work for Auckland Transport, and my officer number is 1377.
Could you spell your name, please?
Yes, A-M-A-N, Severa, S-U-D-E-R-A.
Thank you. What's your role at Auckland Transport?
As a parking officer, I review CCTV footage for the special vehicle lane and issue infringements if vehicle is not following the rules. And on.
On the 18th of January 2023,
Yeah.
can you tell us what you were doing, please?
Yeah, on 18th of January 2023, I was reviewing footage of 12th of January 2023. It was my area assigned to me was MSR1, Medical Station Road. And I noticed vehicle FAN 394 at Mitsubishi car entered into.
Can please please speak very slowly because we're taking notes.
Okay.
Although the matter's being recorded, we need to take notes as well, okay? Thank you, so.
So we're back, so on the 18th of January,
On 18th of January, 2023, I was reviewing footage of 12th of January 2023.
just pause there.
Okay.
Area assigned to me was MSR 1,
Yeah.
Medical Station Road. I came across vehicle FAN 394, make Mitsubishi, entered into bus lane, traveled all the way through, and exit at where the bus lane ends. Whole distance was 75 meters, and this vehicle covered all 75 meters in the bus lane.
Thank you. What vehicles are allowed to use a bus lane?
Buses, motor vehicle, emergency vehicle, cyclists can use bus lanes. And this vehicle was not in category of special vehicle lane.
Thank you. Now, were there signs and road markings indicating this restriction?
Yes, I checked all the signs, and it was clearly visible that it is a bus lane.
What do the signs state?
Sign says it's a bus lane between 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the afternoon, in the evening.
So just run through those times again.
Yeah, it's a 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Yeah.
in the morning and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. evening, Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Thank you. If I can play that CCTV footage for the court. So I'll just pause it there. What street is this? What street is this?
It's medical station road.
Thank you. And you were talking about MSR1.
Yes, MSR1 area.
Where does the start of enforcement zone MSR1 start?
It's begin sign here, begin. And that's the begin on the road marking, and there's a sign says begin.
And where does it finish?
Finish at the, and at the, just past the lights, there's a sign, there's a road marking over there. It's, and it's over there. You will be able to see in the exit video.
Okay. So I'll just play on from here.
You can
Okay.
say.
Can you just confirm the date and time?
Yeah, it's the 12th of January 2023, and the time is 9:31 p.m.
Has the vehicle in question been on the screen?
Yeah.
yet? Oh, it's passed.
Yeah, it's been blue color.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the one, yeah. It's the entry.
So what is this? What is this camera shot here?
It shows the road marking. It's the entry point. Road marking is there, and the vehicle is entered into the bus lane.
Okay, and what? Can you just confirm the registration number of that vehicle?
It's the FAN 394.
So this is the beginning or end?
Beginning. Yeah, that's the exit, end of the,
Oh, sorry. Can you repeat that?
that's the end of the bus lane, end of the sign, yeah.
Is that the end of the bus
It's
lane?
yes, that's all bus lane, yeah.
Where does the end of MSR1 finish?
Yeah, there's this sign.
Okay.
Yeah, it shows 75 meters is up to this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does the bus lane continue on?
Then it's another MSR, one finish here, and then another area starts after that.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
But the bus
it's,
lane for MSR one finish there.
okay, so the bus lane for MSR one
Yeah,
finished
finish
there.
there, yeah.
But it still continues to be a bus
Yeah,
lane, just
yeah.
different enforcement zones.
Yes.
Okay. Do the vehicle travel the full distance of that
Yes.
zone?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just play it again. So which is the vehicle in question, FAN 394?
This one. This push.
Okay, I'll just play it all the way through now. Thank you. Do you wish to submit the CCTV footage as evidence?
Yes, please.
Exhibit 4. Do you want to refer to it? Shall I leave it at that?
Yeah, you can leave it in there for the moment if you like.
What did you do after you observed
I
this year?
issued an infringement and posted it.
What is the fee for that offence?
$150.
Thank you. Just wait and see if that answers any questions the court has for Mr. King.
Okay, so Mr. Keane, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do. Good morning, Iman. Prefer Iman or?
Yes, I can.
I noticed you're saying that the vehicle was not following the rules. Do the rules apply to vehicles or the drivers of them?
Vehicles.
To the vehicles. So
Yeah,
that
vehicle is, the entered vehicle. Was
Okay.
not a special, is not in category of special vehicle.
okay. My point being is that you're stating that the vehicle's not following the rules, and I'm just trying to clarify: is it the vehicle or the operator of the vehicle that must follow those road user rules?
The owner of the vehicle should take the vehicle and should drive his vehicle in according to rules.
So it's
Both
the owner of the vehicle, not the operator.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean by the difference between the registered owner and the actual operator of the vehicle?
Yes, I know the difference, but like if my friend take my car and he don't follow the rules, of course he has to pay even though he's not an owner of the vehicle, but he has to pay the fine.
But who would that fine be sent to? Would it be sent to him or would it be sent to the registered owner?
Registered owner.
Okay. So
Yeah, registered owner is gonna send to the registered owner, and its owners, yes, it's gonna be sent to the registered owner.
But if it was your friend driving?
But it's not his problem, it's my car, my responsibility.
Okay, so you've just stated that he would be responsible.
It's not granting, it's your vehicle.
I think we're getting into the ground
Yeah.
stuff that's not really relevant.
Okay.
Because there is a process of transferring a charge from a registered owner to a person who is actually driving, so.
Under the Section 133 of the Land Transport Act.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. Was there any notice or any declaration received from the registered owner in regards to saying that they weren't the driver of the vehicle or the operator of the vehicle on that day?
No, I can only,
You can only go by what
I'm not
you...
aware of that.
Sure.
Yeah,
Now,
I just see the vehicle and,
you stated that MSR1, the bus lane in question, 75 metres,
Yeah.
but that's not exactly correct, is it?
it's estimated, yeah.
An estimation.
Yeah, but, yeah.
Because on the actual document, the MSR1 document that was supplied, it states it's only 73 metres, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Not
but in
75.
the bus lane is like, if you travel in a bus lane more than 50 meters, we can issue a fine, yeah.
Okay.
For 75 is more distance.
And does the bus lane continue through the intersection, or does it stop at every intersection and then begin again after the intersection?
It depends on the area to area. All bus lanes are different.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just a little unsure here, Your Honours. I have the Land Transport Rural Traffic Control Devices Rule 54001, 11.21. It's basically stating that the bus lane stops at the intersection and then restarts at the commencement of the bus lane starts after the intersection again.
Yes, which is what the witness mentioned when she was giving her evidence.
Did you manage to identify the operator of the vehicle that day?
We are not supposed to, it's not a part of the job. We don't need to identify the operator. We don't need to, we just need to identify the vehicle.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how do you know which person was driving the vehicle then to issue the ticket, or is it just because of the way the law's written, you can only issue it to the registered owner? No doubt, I take it you do some sort of check with the Land Transport Act to find out who's the registered owner to issue it to the correct person, is that correct?
If whoever is the ticket will be posted to a person who's a registered owner of the vehicle.
Okay, and what if there are two registered owners of the vehicle? Flip a coin?
There was one main one, must be the one main person who actually owned the vehicle.
Okay, so
I'm not aware of that.
and that's all basically, I believe, as far as Land Transport Act 133 is concerned, the registered owner is presumed to be the offender of that alleged offence. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what evidence do you have that myself was the driver of the vehicle that day? On that, I mean, I don't think there's any question that the vehicle on that day at that time was in that lane. My question is, what evidence do you have to verify that, say, I myself or the other registered owner, my wife, was the driver? How can you distinguish who the driver was?
Vehicle was making offence, and it will go to, the ticket will be issued to the person who is responsible for that vehicle, who is a registered owner of this vehicle. And now it's registered owner's responsibility to make sure to look after his vehicle, and to make sure, like, if friend borrowed their vehicle or whoever drives that vehicle, they don't commit any offense. If people do it, then it still go back to the registered owner. Like, if my car, my friend drives and make offense, I'll be liable to pay the fines. I can't ask my friend to pay all the fines for me.
Yeah, I think we're going with again.
I think we're going to go around in circles.
We are.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm just trying to establish what evidence there is to verify that I was the actual operator of the vehicle on that day in question.
Your name is registered, or you are registered owner of the vehicle?
Yeah, and under 133 it is presumed.
Yes.
Okay, so, and I believe I'm also presumed innocent of any criminal offence.
No, if you are registered owner of vehicle, then it will come to your person.
Okay, so what happens if there are two registered owners? I mean, am I allowed to refer to the particulars of the vehicle that have been supplied to them?
Yes.
Yes?
Well, you're probably asking the wrong person, because all, as I understand, your process is you just issue the help me out here, Mr. Neary. The infringement notice is sent to the registered owner confirming of what's on the LT you say records.
That's correct, and any further checks and correspondence is done by a different team.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have the certificate of particulars here. Am I able to show this to the...
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so you can see here, who's the registered person on the owner of the vehicle?
Yeah, it's marked in the everything.
Okay, and are there any joint persons registered?
Yeah, I think that's
Leah Mary Group?
Yes, that's.
Okay, so there are two people registered owners of this vehicle.
Yeah, but
So-
the name is there, yeah.
Okay. So you could argue that I'm registered as the first registered owner.
Yes.
So again, I come back to the fact, do you have any first-hand evidence to state that I was the operator of the vehicle that day in question?
That is, whoever is operating is not, yeah, anybody can operate a vehicle. Anyone can make offense.
Yeah.
But the person who is the registered owner of the vehicle, he has to, the fine will be issued.
And you'd agree that
that person.
and you would agree we've just established there are two registered owners for this vehicle, correct?
Yeah, I
Yes.
can see that.
Okay,
yeah,
so
but
how
the
did
main
you?
one.
So my point is, if there's two registered owners, and unless you physically saw and can identify who the operator of the vehicle was, not the registered owner, because the registered owner is based on the presumption, absent fact. Okay, so you can presume, but the moment that presumption is rebutted by the plea of, say, not guilty, is not the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt for you to verify who the operator of the vehicle was that day?
It's objection, Your Worship. So the onus is on the prosecution to prove correct.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is the only witness. I'm asking, can she verify who the operator of the
But
vehicle
your
was
chance
that
have
day?
done through the section 130, Your Worships.
They've shown who the registered owners of the vehicle are. They haven't shown who the operator of the vehicle that day was.
It's irrelevant question. This irrelevant
I
question.
think I think we're going to go around and continue going around in circles. I think what's clear, her role was to, the witness's role was to merely issue the offence notice to the registered owner.
Under the presumption that was the offender.
Yes.
Okay, so what evidence is there that proves that presumption
Well,
with
under
fact?
section 133, once the owner gets the offending notice, if they weren't the driver, then there's a process for them to
The
complete a
person,
statutory declaration to nominate who the driver was.
I agree with you, Your Honour, on that state that a person can make a declaration, however it is not compulsory. The person does not have to. I believe the burden of proof in a criminal case is for the prosecution to prove every element, one of the elements being who was the operator of the vehicle that day, given a not guilty plea has been entered stating that that presumption under 133 of the Land Transport Act no longer applies because it has been rebutted.
Okay. But again, this witness is not qualified to answer any questions about it.
But the witness can verify, on the video, did you see the driver of the vehicle?
I'm not supposed to see the spy. I don't.
I think just answer yes or no.
No. Okay. No.
So you didn't see who the driver was?
No.
So you can't verify who the operator of that vehicle was that day?
No.
No more questions, Your Honour.
Thank you. So what, if we go back, can we just play the video for a minute, please? Just where the vehicle exited, what's the name of the street?
The name of the street.
Where it ends.
Do you know the name of the street that it ends at, where the exit point is?
The side street.
Yes.
No.
Thank you. Thank you, we don't have any more questions.
Thank you very much. Sure.
Nothing
Thank
else.
you.
I think what we might do is take the non-adjournment
So,
at this stage. So is that there's no what other things that we're looking
no,
at?
that's the case for the prosecution.
So Mr. King, now's your opportunity to take the witness stand and give your evidence.
I have no wish to do that, Your Honour. I have no wish to give testimony. It's the burden is for the prosecution alone to satisfy.
So you don't wish to give any evidence?
I have no evidence to give.
Okay. Mr. Neary.
Are we into submission, sir?
Yes.
It's a strict local living meeting worships. In regards to section 133, Land Transport Act 1998, section 133(1), B states, proceedings for moving vehicle offence or a special vehicle lane offence may be taken against one or more of the following persons. A, the person who allegedly committed the offence. B, the person who at the time of the alleged offence was registered under Part 17 in respect of the vehicle involved in the offence. A person at the time of the alleged offence was registered as the owner or one of the owners of the vehicle in a register kept under Section 18 of the Land Transport Vehicle and Driver Registration Licensing Act. Well, Your Worships, the defendant, sorry. Oh yes, section 2 says, in proceedings taken against a person under paragraph B or C, which in this case it's B, in the absence of proof to the contrary, it must be presumed that A, the defendant was the driver or person in charge of the vehicle at the time of the alleged offence. Your Worships, there have been no proof to the contrary in that regard. Those are my submissions, sir.
Do I get to make a final submission as well?
Yes, yes, yep.
Yeah, but as far as 133 is concerned, they can make that allegation and file the ticket to the registered owners, but as I've stated, I have under section 25A of the Bill of Rights Act to be presumed innocent of any and all criminal allegations unless proven beyond a reasonable doubt. The prosecution has not proven that I was the operator of the vehicle that day. The presumption under 133 has been rebutted by the fact that a not guilty plea was entered by myself, and the prosecution have not satisfied the burden haven't identified any driver of the vehicle. So whether or not there's a presumption, which presumption takes precedence? My presumption of innocence or the presumption of the registered owner as the offender? So if the prosecution cannot satisfy that I myself was the operator of the vehicle that day, the case should be dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything you state?
Nothing that I haven't already covered, Your Worships.
Thank you. Well, we'll retire now then to consider the decision.
So reserve decision or
No,
wait?
We'll retire now and we'll deliver a decision to that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Silence or stand for their worships. And the whole please be seated. Could it now resume?
Thank you. So, Mr. King, can you please stand?
Sure.
So So, Mr. Keane, you're appearing in court today in respect of an alleged infringement offence relating to a vehicle travelling in a special vehicle lane. To be successful, the prosecution must prove the elements of the case beyond reasonable doubt. The essential elements are that on the 12th of January 2023 at approximately 9:30 in Manukau City, you were the driver of a motor vehicle that travelled down a special vehicle lane. There's no dispute as to the time, date and place of the alleged offence, or that a motor vehicle, that a Mitsubishi vehicle of which one of the registered owners travelled the length of the vehicle lane, known as MSR1, for a distance of between 73 and 75 metres. What is in dispute is the identification of the driver of the vehicle. Early in the proceedings, you sought to challenge the admissibility of documents produced by Auckland Transport under Section 130 of the Evidence Act. These documents include a map of the special vehicle lane, showing the distance of the lane and the locations of signage both on the side of the road, at the entry of the bus lane and on the road itself. Other documents include a calibration certificate relating to the equipment used to measure the distance of the special vehicle lane, and a certificate of particulars from Waka Kotahi, advising your name as the registered person, but also Leah Marie Brunette as the joint person. Your challenge was based on your inability to cross-examine the persons responsible for preparing these documents. However, these documents are common practice for proceedings issued in these types of proceedings, and the court agreed that they should be admitted as evidence. The court heard evidence from Auckland Transport Officer Sudira. She said that on the 18th of January 2023, she reviewed CCTV footage of traffic travelling down a section of Manukau Station Road. This section of road includes a special vehicle lane that is reserved for the use of buses, motorcycles, emergency vehicles and cycles between the hours of 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Monday to Friday. As part of her evidence, Officer Sudira produced CCTV footage that showed a vehicle registered FAN 394 at approximately 9:31 entering the special vehicle lane and travelling the complete distance of the lane. After viewing the footage, the officer determined that an offence had occurred. As a consequence, an infringement notice was sent to you as the registered owner of the vehicle. During cross-examination, the officer stated that she was not able to specifically identify you as the driver of the vehicle. Although you elected not to take the witness stand and provide evidence on your behalf, you made it clear to the court that the onus is on the prosecution to prove who was the driver of the vehicle. Section 133 of the Land Transport Act deals with the liability of owners for moving vehicle offences and special lane offences. Section 133(1) provides that proceedings for a special vehicle offence may be taken against one or more of the following persons. The section includes the person who committed the offence, or a person who at the time of the alleged offence was registered as the owner, or one of the owners. According to the certificate of particulars from Waka Kotahi, both yourself and Leah Mary Brunette are recorded as owners. The infringement notice was therefore correctly issued to yourself as one of the owners. Section 133(2) provides that in the absence of proof to the contrary, it must be presumed that the defendant was the driver or person in charge of the alleged at the time of the alleged offence. Section 133(5) provides for the ability for a person to provide a defence to the charge by completing a statutory declaration identifying the person who the declarant believes should be charged with the infringement. In this instance, you have not completed a statutory declaration and therefore the infringement remains under your name. The court therefore considers the prosecution has proven the elements of the offence beyond reasonable doubt. This is an infringement offence, and therefore there's no conviction entered against your name. You are fined $150 with court costs of $30. Thank you.
Can I ask how the how the prosecution proved I was the driver?
You were the registered owner, and you didn't
That's not in debate.
You didn't file a defence.
Pardon?
It's done.
Yeah. I'm just curious, Your Honour. No offence at all.
No, okay, thank
May I
you.
have a copy of the transcript from today?
You can apply to the court for a transcript.
Sure, I'll put an application in documents of finality. Thank you very much. Have an awesome day, sir.
Thank you.